This is Emma Seligman talking about Shiva Baby.
Definitely. I only wanted to write something that would sort of be somewhat authentic to me because I was writing it in school, and I just wanted to make sure that my senior thesis was achievable and that I didn't try to do like a million locations. I just wanted to focus on character and story, and also a small budget. I just wanted to draw off my experiences in my family, but also like my securities. And I think that, you know, writing Jewish characters, at least from my specific Jewish background, comes easier to me than writing any other kind of person. So it was no question going to be at a Jewish event. And then also, I think there were just a million sugar babies at my school, and sexual power dynamics was something that I feel like me and all my friends were, you know, encountering and having difficulties with as young women. So that's where the inspiration came in. So I definitely inserted a lot of what I was feeling into it. Yeah.
And this is Required Watching, where we watch the essential films from lists of cinematic influencers and look at them through the lens of learning about filmmaking and how to move forward. I'm your host, Trey Epps, and today we're talking about the 2021 indie darling, Shiva Baby. Shiva Baby is about a college student who has an awkward encounter with her sugar daddy and her ex-girlfriend while at a Jewish funeral service with her parents. It stars Rachel Sennott, Danny DeFerrari, Fred Mullane, Molly Gordon, Diana Argon, and is written and directed by Emma Seligman. Among being dubbed one of 2021's best films, was also won at least up to 17 awards and played at festivals like Toronto and South by. The real reason why this movie was chosen was because of Mubi, the movie service. No, it's not a sponsored movie, but I do think that they are fantastic for curating classic and modern films from around the world, so I'll be mentioning them a lot from time to time. I haven't heard of this film before, but after watching the trailer, I thought it seemed right up my alley. And I'll be honest, the 77-minute movie that gained so much attention, that gained so much praise, angered me. I immediately put myself in the position of other filmmakers always and say, why are they not greenlighting movies like this for me? Why can't I get budgets like this for me? But then I thought, sugar babies? Yes, please. Pity aside, digging into this movie was an interesting horror story. I feel like the last few films that I've looked at have been subverting the genres that they may be playing with. And this, by all means, is no different. This movie it's about being stuck in a house with all of your worst nightmares coming true. And your ex-girlfriend, who, to be perfectly honest, is you know, you guys are forced to not be together. Your sugar daddy is there with your parents, and you're, well, not really grieving, if you know, but it's all happening under this guise of this very sad event. It's hard, but I would definitely call it a drama, and the tension is there. And I think Emma, the director, did a really fantastic job of adding music and making you feel the tension and erratic nature of what our protagonist was going through for a few hours. And to answer the previous question, this indie budget was $200K, and they made over $300K in the box office. I don't know what the marketing numbers were like. I don't know anything like that, but I would call that a win to at least get to your budget, right? Like, this is fantastic. And whilst Emma Seligman doesn't have anything on her IMDb for future projects, I really hope that she's in the background working on something that's going to be great. I wouldn't be surprised if she took a route similar to some of our Marvel directors and came out swinging with a really big budget film next. And I think rightfully so. I think she's someone with a vision, and I think if she can translate that to other films, she'd be someone to really watch. It's rare that we see movies this short, right? I said 77 minutes. Like, movies like this don't exist. But it felt good, and it was paced really well, and it didn't feel rushed at all. In fact, it really felt like we watched a complete story. And afterwards, if you had told me that only 77 minutes had gone by, I kind of would have been happy. I would have been happy to have heard that, because it meant that I saw something fairly complete and still had my, 20 minutes or whatever it is back that I would have expected this movie to be. And of course, in a world that we all wish time was given back to us. I think I should get right into it and say that I do think this movie is required watching. And that's because my next note was going back to how our director, Emma Seligman, really put us in the middle of drama. And you know what? I'm going to say trauma. I'm going to say the horrors of it all. I felt like I was smack dab in the middle of this culture that is not mine, but I know what these social situations, I know what it's like to feel this trapped in social situations and have secrets that that may or may not be told, to have secrets that I want to be kept to myself, to have feelings that I don't know how to process. And I think we get all of this from this one movie. And I forget how long it said that this movie was shot, but like how long it took for this movie to be shot. But I believe it's a very short amount of time. Furthermore, it's in one location essentially. And I think it's really hard. Of course, like, we have interiors and exteriors and we have a few other locations, but I think it's really hard to tell a story like this in one location. I think that's the reason why this film is required, to be able to look at your films that isn't about just two people sitting in a room and it having to be low budget. This is a really dynamic, nuanced film with characters with real issues, with real nuanced characters going through this 77-minute journey in essentially one location. Of course, they had a little bit of budget, but this is coming off of a short film that I believe gained a bit of buzz, enough buzz to get a bit of a budget. And it's great to see how little, because $200,000 is not a lot of money, how much this little bit of money really stretched from the cast alone. There are, notable names, recognizable faces that agreed to do this for, I'm sure, for much lower than what they're typically being paid. And that's because I'm sure they care, they have a relationship or, whatever it is, but they signed on for this thing. And it's great to see that little movies are still getting attention. And I think as filmmakers, as we start to get our projects up, as we start to complete things, hope is not lost. It doesn't have to go on YouTube. It doesn't have to see this ill fate. And I think this is a really great example of a female director who took their vision, put it on screen, and made something that everyone's talking about, at least last year. And I hope to see what she does for the next year. But again, am I wrong? Am I right? Be the one to tell me. Let me know what you thought of Shiva Baby. Is there something that I'm missing? Because usually there is. And if you hated it, let me know. I would love to know why you didn't like this film. Again, from the lens of filmmaking, I think this was really, really good and really, really strong. Yes, that is it. I mean, I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. It costs you nothing, and it lets us keep this little film club going. So again, I would love to make this much more of a conversation instead of a monologue. So over the next few months, you'll be seeing some live streams coming from me. And hopefully we can bring some fellow subscribers, viewers on to have a bit of a roundtable about some of our favorite films. Pick a film and talk about it live. And that'd be really, really cool. So I'm hoping to get that out in the next few months or so. So if you like what we do, subscribe, send me an email. Let's talk some more. And until next time, peace.